Well, we are here for the 5th episode. And you know what's cool? We've had a lot of Pinnacle leaders, and we're continuing it with none other than the Superintendent of Banning Unified School District, Terrence Davis. The crowd goes wild. Wow. We'll do an edit to where, in the background it'll go, Make a big old splash.
Love it.
But we're grateful to have you here.
I'm honored to be here. When I got the call, I know what it's about, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime we have an opportunity to talk about what we're doing in the city of Banning, what we're doing for our students and our wonderful staff, it's an opportunity to share. And so I'm always about that.
That's awesome. And you are a Pinnacle leader here in the city. We're grateful for all that you do. I feel like we have a good direction of our school district, and you're a big part of that.
Thank you.
So we thank you. How was New Year's? Did you have any New Year's resolutions personally? Anything that you're focusing on in your life that you want to shed light on?
There's a few things. People always talk about resolutions, what I'm going to do for this year or the next year. And I've kind of shifted that. I'm really trying to focus on what habits I'm going to adopt for the year to get me moving in the right direction. And one of those things professionally is really kind of taking time and slowing down and not doing too much. Because I've been in the role in education I'm coming in my 26th year in education.
Nice.
And I'm in my 6th year as a superintendent. I've met a lot of people, a lot of things going on, and sometimes I get a little frustrated. It's like it's going too fast. There's too much stuff going on. What I realize, sometimes I put that on myself.
Yeah.
Because I want to do this, but I have to be able to slow down, prioritize. And one of the things in Banning and Banning Unified has been trying to make sense of everything and putting it into place and then being there to support it.
Right.
So we could put it into place. We have great staff, but if I'm not there to support it, if I'm not pushing it along, if I'm not a part of it, then I can feel disconnected. And I don't like to be disconnected.
Yeah.
So one of the things for this year is creating more boundaries to say no when it's no, and then prioritize the things that I need to get done.
That's beautiful, because I think any ambitious, either it's a business owner, local leader, especially when we have so much that we want to achieve, because, well, life is short. We only have so many years on this earth, and so it's hard for us to be like, okay, I know I'm ambitious, but yes, balance is a moving target, and constantly try to achieve it. Definitely the hard part, is implementing it and just having a good structure. So speaking of structure, I think we need to shed some light on our fancy socks today.
Okay.
Even though I know it will probably cut to the sea where we have it, but I have my Cheez-It socks today.
Hey, and I'm rolling
you got it out.
Black Panther
The Black
style,
Panther style.
Yeah, I don't own a pair of solid socks. And that's been probably for about 4 or 5 years. I just don't buy them anymore.
Well, I just felt like the only part of dressing up professionally all day, it feels like it's like this all the time. This is one way that we can have a little bit of fun.
Absolutely.
Just show our personality,
That's right.
And then I had to bring this out. This is shout out to my buddy David from high school. He got me this
It's nice
throwback of a Bronco tie, so I felt it was appropriate.
That's nice. Wearing ties, I feel underdressed.
Oh,
That's
you're
okay.
all good.
Those are part of my boundaries. Because when I put on them tie, my blood pressure gets a little high. Just got to loosen up a little bit.
Can't talk, can't breathe.
That's right.
So I would love the community to know just a little bit about your family background, where you grew up, how was that like, so that some people may not know how that was.
And that's a little heavy, but I was born and raised in the city of San Francisco.
Okay.
And did that through K through 12, and actually went to private school, went to Catholic school, K through 12, and what we would call, or they would call back in the day, the hood. So it was predominantly, actually went to a K-8, I realized way later, predominantly African-American students in a Catholic school, and then went to an all-boys Catholic school in the city of San Francisco, Reardon High School, right across the street from City College. And so that was really my upbringing, and what I realized after that, later on in life, is that if I didn't have that upbringing, I probably would have been dead or in jail, because I grew up in a very tough kind of neighborhood environment as I got closer to high school. Now, I've been out of high school for a little while, but it was tough. It was tough. It was a lot of violence, a lot of things in the street, and I was able to escape by getting into college. And I went to Cal State Long Beach, and that's what I will really say saved my life. But that goes back to my parents.
Okay.
The support that I have from my parents. And actually, speaking of the city, I just lost my mom. I think when you contacted me, I shared that with you. So I just lost her last month, and so I went back home. A lot of people, a lot of things, And I realized that that community that was created by my parents in the city kind of made me who I am.
Right.
It's given me my drive. It's given me that ability to kind of see through things to do the right thing. And when I go back and I see friends and other people, I'm a success story to that. And it's not because of, oh, look at me, what I've done. It's because of the grit, perseverance, and things that I had in my life to make me drive forward. And so I've been on my own since I'm 17 years old. And just trying to figure it out and learn the hard way to get better results. More importantly, to support the people and kids in our communities.
Well, you know, the most difficult childhoods usually, they either define you or they can totally dictate, you know, what it is that if you're going to stay in that or if you're going to let it just motivate you to be like, okay, look, I've experienced it. I'm not going to do it anymore.
That's right.
Now I know what the other part of life can look like for me, and chasing that, I think, is so cool that you overcame the odds, which is awesome that, you know, you guys are huge supporters of Student of the Month, because that is all that those stories are amazing. Like everyone that goes to those events, if you don't cry, you're just not human.
Because the students have experienced so much adversity, and these are the students who have persevered, no matter what's going on in their life. And that's one of the things I actually really love about Banning. This is my 4th school district that I worked in Riverside County. I worked in Alvord, which is Riverside County, east, Riverside, the city of Riverside East, Temecula. Next door in Beaumont. And here in Banning is very unique in all those communities where we receive students who have a lot of challenges in their life. And not all adults can work with them to get their full potential or even see their full potential to say, hey, we want you to do better. And a lot of our students, I'm just grateful and fortunate that they have so much perseverance and grit. And when they graduate, if they're doing really well, there's nothing that can stop them. Because of the community that they've been raised in, there's a lot of support, but they're also strong. And I'm really proud of that, and I think I connect with that, which helps me, I think, better serve.
Oh, 100%. That coincides perfectly with the next question, because is there a family member or a sibling, parent, anyone that played a significant role in shaping who it is that you are today?
Yeah, I want to say my mom. My mom, born and raised in San Francisco, never left. She never left the city. So my mom passed away last month, 74 years old. In the church that we went to, because I went to Catholic school, she went to that same church growing up. I didn't realize it. Somebody sent me something. She was married in that same church. My younger brother passed away 13 years ago in that same church, same hospital. So all of these things kind of like come full circle. And so she sacrificed a lot to put her 3 boys through public school, because my parents were divorced and my father was always there, but she said, no, I want to pay to go to school. And that had to be a big sacrifice.
That is.
So it's always having someone behind you. And the other thing that I share with people is that my mom got her bachelor's degree and her master's degree after she was 60 years old. So she made a commitment to support her kids and put her life on hold to ensure their success. And then after they, were grown, she said, I need to get back to work. And so that's a detriment to, that's not a detriment. That's not the right word. That's a tribute to the type of person who sacrifices things for themselves to see the good in others.
And that's probably one of the most fulfilling things to do, is when you are selfless like that. I think you acquire much more gratitude and appreciation for life and what you do, rather than thinking about yourself all the time. I just found the observation that when you find people that are so self-consumed with themselves is when they really hit bottom, because they're constantly figuring out ways to be happy to consume themselves rather than serving or sacrificing their time, their money, their effort to really allow the serving of other people. It's just one of the underrated qualities.
And the other thing is, in this community, I'll say the past community, you talked about some previous guests like Miss Hanley. There's several others that they're involved in everything. They show up for the community. They're always here. The late Amy Hurd, same thing. Always around, here to serve the community. And those people keep pushing it forward and paying it forward, so that way other people have opportunities. And I'm grateful to be in that same space, not of the same ilk, but in the same space to learn from them and see the benefits of their work flourish in our students in our community.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love that we have a great culture of leaders like yourself, Miss Hanley, Amy, her, all of them. They're such a big asset, and you're right, like the same space. If you have the same mentality in serving, then that's what makes the community great.
That's
so,
right. That's right.
so we're grateful to have you part of that.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So speaking of, we'll go switch over to the Banning Unified Life. How long? So I know you kind of answered already. You said what, 26 years that you've been in the sector, education?
26 years in public education.
Okay. And what inspired you to really get into that space?
You know, I was working prior to that in group homes. Okay. So I worked at a large facility in Orange County called Orangewood, where any kid taken out of the home goes to this facility. So I did that for a while, and that's how I kind of got introduced to like substitute teaching. And so I kind of did that, and then I was a classroom teacher. And so that really propelled me working with kids, especially at the middle school level, tough stuff.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Tough
I know
stuff.
who I was in middle school,
tough.
And I know my teachers were definitely stressed out.
So shout out to all our parents who have
sure.
our middle school students, our teachers, our staff. They deal with a lot of challenges because everyone's body is growing differently. Hormones, all kinds of stuff. But from there, a classroom teacher was good, but I always was interested in human resources. Like, because I would always see at this one site I worked at, and this is in Alvord, teachers would come and go. And everyone walked on pin needles because they were afraid. And I didn't understand that.
Right.
And so, you know, I eventually got into that. And then that's that people connection that kind of built in me to do what's best for people to support our students.
Right.
I never want to be a superintendent, ever. That was never a goal of mine. And it's something that presented itself, and I ended up in that opportunity. And so several years later, there was another change. I went back to human resources, and I was happy. I was good. So I started in Banning in August of 2020.
Okay.
So we're pushing on 4 years, and I was content. I was good. Like this, I love it. Now, it's challenging work.
Right.
But I loved it. And then so there was another change, and here's this opportunity, and really I was like, no, thank you, because I'm good.
Right.
But that wasn't what was called for me.
Right.
And so, long story short, I end up in the superintendency role in May of 2022. So now we're pushing a couple months on 2 full years.
Wow.
And all I can say is that I feel as if I've had so much support around me and positive will, and I see how the staff, I'm talking about bus drivers, people who work in nutrition services, to teachers, everyone has kind of rallied around to kind of see hope and vision for our school district. And we're starting to see that in our test scores. Right. So actually we have a presentation coming up with the board to show how much success we did in academics and other areas in the district over the past year.
Wow.
And it's just growing to get, I would say, back to what I heard things used to be. And that's what we're trying to do.
I love that.
This isn't saying banning is bad. This is saying this is where we are.
Yeah.
How do we continue to get better and grow?
And I think there's always room for improvement. I think any city that think that or any school district or city, any organization that thinks that they have it down perfect is just completely misconstrued by the notion that they can always find out ways to improve, whether it's the culture, the vision, implementing, things for staff. And I mean, this school district is a lot.
It is.
To implement so many different elements and facets. So
I want to add one thing. So every year, the Riverside County Office of Education, there's like 23 school districts in Riverside County. They have a Teacher of the Year event.
Nice.
And every district recommends teachers, like Banning has done in the past.
Right.
This year is the first time, I don't know, ever, if not ever, we have a teacher at Coombs Alternative Education who is our Riverside County Teacher of the Year. There's something like, I don't know, thousands of teachers in Riverside County. He is one of 4 from Banning. And so we're really putting a dent in it to say, hey, we're here.
Right.
This is who we are. This is how we serve our students. And we're really proud of that.
Making positive noise.
Super positive noise.
I love that.
So really good.
So what is your favorite part about serving as superintendent so far? Whether it's been here or anywhere else, is there's like a specific thing that when you wake up, you're like, man, this is exactly what I look forward to doing today?
Yeah, I don't know how much of that I get, like that feeling, But when you look back, you can see it.
Yeah.
And so when I start to see the changes that have happened, when I hear about the changes, just as an example, within the past year, if you go to any of our elementary sites, all our blacktops have been done. We're almost finished with all of our roofing projects. And those may sound small, but when kids hit that blacktop and they see here's this new layout, they get excited.
Right.
When teachers come in, they see new carpet in the classroom and they see that we're trying to keep up and show them that you deserve a space worthy to teach in.
Right.
You see the goodwill.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're hearing from staff say the same things. So it's not just me walking around saying, I think we're doing better. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what folks are saying who work in the system.
Right.
And I'm really proud to be a part of that. Our principals, we just had a principals meeting this morning, and they were like, well, you support. And I'm like, listen, I don't do the work. You do the work. I'm here to support you.
Right.
But it takes all of us, and to be a part of that makes me really feel like I'm making a difference in the space. And I can't say that for all the other districts that I've been in. Wholeheartedly, authentically, I feel like that.
Oh, nice. That's fantastic. Is there any specific program, service, resource that you'd like the community to be aware of? Or maybe there's one that maybe the residents don't take advantage of, or just not fully aware, anything or that's something that's coming up that they may want to know about?
So there's a few things coming up, and one of the things is called the LCAP, which is the Local Control Accountability Plan, and that's really where we ask all of our partners, from teachers to community members, what would you like to see? And so we have to develop a plan to ensure that we're taking that in consideration to make changes. So we've been out at every school site, or not every school, we've started a school site tour. We just had something district-wide, and parents are coming out. So I want parents to know that there are ways of getting your input.
Right.
And we want to hear that. It's not always in person. Sometimes it's virtually, or you can fill out a survey, but we want to hear what's happening and going on. The other thing that's going on in the near future, we have a board meeting this Wednesday, and we're going to be providing some information. This is good for the city to know too, and our local partners, is that we send out a poll to see what is the appetite for a bond in the community. And so the polling came back really positive.
Nice.
I'm talking about 60 to 65% of people saying, hey, yeah, I would vote for a bond. And what that bond would do for us is it would allow us to really put a fast light to have the money on projects like HVAC,
Right.
gyms, facilities, because it was so, just kind of put on the back burner for so long. We have a lot to do. And I don't know if you're a homeowner out there, if your AC goes out or even your refrigerator, you have a lot of money to pay. So think about a large organization. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars just for to keep the lights on, to not have roofing issues or HVAC issues. So that is something that we believe is going to be going to the public. So we want the public to know that we have something coming, but we want to be able to show you at the same time, this is what's happening now, and these are the positive things that are going on.
I love that. And transparency, I think, is a huge transparency, and then getting them involved, because then they feel like they have a voice. Sometimes I think us as leaders, it's so easy to be so ambitious that we forget to reach out to the people that it's affecting or that matter the most. And we're like, oh man, let's make sure that the decision that we're making is actually conducive to what they want as well. So that's inclusivity.
And that's
is really
why this
important.
is a great opportunity.
Right.
To just kind of hear what's happening, and there are positive. Are there things that we have to work on? Absolutely.
Right.
And so we always have to focus on that, but we should look back to go, there are definitely positives.
Right. So it's tradition that on the Chamber Chats podcast that we have some sort of game that's relative to the guests that we are interviewing.
Okay, all right.
So last one that we did with Mayor was really funny because we had a gavel here, right? And so my job was to say, okay, one statement about me, whether it's true or false, if it's a lie, and if he catches me in a lie, then he'll hit the gavel, right? If it's true, he'll say true. So we went back and forth. So some sort of game, right? So this game today, we are going to we're going to give you some noise-canceling headphones.
Okay.
And these, I'm going to read about 5 different words or phrases.
Okay.
They're not long.
Okay.
But you can't hear anything. So you're supposed to look at me, and you're supposed to guess what word I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's fun. That's
right?
funny.
So go ahead and give you the noise canceling.
Okay.
Designated. We built these just for you today.
Okay, okay.
Got them custom made from the gun range.
That's the best. That's the best place, I think.
Okay, right. So you can't hear me, so I can say whatever. And do you know anything that I'm saying right now? He said yes, no. You can't say it? Okay. All right, ready? Number 1. Recess.
Recess.
Oh, he did. That's pretty. You got some good. I need to scoot back. Okay, number 2. This one's going to be hard.
Detention.
Dang.
Students have a lot of it. So
He's like, I see these words and phrases
detention.
before.
Yeah, it's like
You're 2 for
I'm
2.
feeling it come out.
Okay. Number 3. Oh, I might have stumped him on this one. I might have stumped him. He was 2 for 2. Ready?
No, I don't want that one.
It's like, I don't want that one. All right, ready? One more time.
I can't. That's a lot of words in that.
And you know what's funny? It's 3 letters.
Is it? Okay, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Ready? Okay, we'll go to number 4. And it's, hopefully he doesn't, he can't hear me. I'm hoping he can, but it's Bronco Pride. Bronco Pride.
Okay. It's something that the previous principal talked about all the
Oh,
time.
let me hear it.
Bronco Pride.
Yes. You're 3 for 4. Okay. Last one. Now I'm going to, just in case, it's prepare, inspire, and educate. But I have a feeling he can hear me, so that's why I'm whispering. Okay, ready? Prepare, inspire, educate.
Okay, I got the first 2.
Okay, what's the first 2?
So previous board president Sattler would say pie. So I think I can fill in the last part. It would say prepare, inspire, but I couldn't figure out the last part, but it would be educate.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to do with students.
That was it. You got 4. You got 4 out of the 5 correct.
Okay, well that was...
Which one do you think? The one that you got wrong, actually, it wasn't a word technically.
Okay,
It's 3 letters.
okay.
It's GPA.
Oh, GPA. Okay, it sounded like it was a lot. Like it was...
He was like, that was way too many words. You're giving me a
It
paragraph.
seemed like it was a whole paragraph, yeah. GPA.
But
Okay,
hey,
okay.
you got 4 out of 5. That was fantastic. I'm glad that you got prepare, inspire, and educate.
Well, I didn't hear I couldn't get the last one, but I figured if it fit in that's what it is.
Yeah, and that so that you guys are aware, that is the vision that on the website on
That's
Men
right,
Unified,
that's right.
And that's a huge thing. So
That's what
that
we're trying to do.
Yeah, so that was you did pretty good.
All
that
right,
was
we'll
fantastic.
take it. We'll take it. We'll take. There's never perfection. It doesn't exist. But how do we figure it out and make it happen?
That's right. Well, is there anything that you kind of want to shed light or just say to the people out there in the community? Any last words? A famous quote? I think Robert Seibel, he had an opportunity to have like a quote that he kind of lives by, and so any last words that you just kind of want to tell the community?
Yeah. Well, I always focus on what's current because there's always a lot of stuff, right? But first of all, thank you for the opportunity of being here. Got your team here. Thank you. But I just listened to this video. It's on YouTube, and it's from the women's coach at Duke basketball.
Ooh.
And it's a little video, and she just talks about preparing for hard well. You know what? I actually have it here because I wrote it down.
Nice.
It is handle hard well. And basically the message is that in life, it's not going to get easier. Sometimes we wait for easier. We say, oh, when I get this job, it's going to be easier. Or when I get through this, it's going to be easier. It's never going to be easier.
Right.
It's always adapting and making yourself stronger to prepare yourself for the next challenge.
Right.
Because they're going to keep happening. And this coach talks about it with her team. She's like, no, you work out in the summer, you think it's going to get easier. When the season starts, it's never going to get easier. Life is never going to get easier. It's how you develop a stronger you and build your capacity to deal with the future complexities.
Yeah.
Because that's all we got coming, future complexities. So are you either going to go, or you're going to go, no, I got it because I'm
Right.
stronger. And that's what we're trying to do with our kids. Our kids already have that propensity. We're just trying to get them easier to move and navigate through.
And remind them, yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, great words from our superintendent, Terrence Davis. Thank you so much for coming in and gracing us and giving the wisdom. And we're excited to have you part of the community. And we look forward to all that you're going to do here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you guys for tuning in for episode 5 with our superintendent here. And we'll keep you updated on the next one.
All right. All right. All right, good.